I was feeling, I was in a state of mind where I was going through a situation that wasn't great, personal situation that wasn't great, and really all I wanted was for it to be the complete opposite. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be, well, not even perfect. I wanted it to be good enough.
Okay.
But you know, when you love someone, sometimes it's not the right time, it's not the right space, they're not in the right, you know, mentally they need a lot of work.
Hi everyone, welcome back to We Plug Good Music TV. My name is Ayo and you're tuned into our brand new series titled Behind the Music, where we will be speaking to some of our favorite new artists and they'll be taking us behind the scenes to their latest single. And today we are joined by South London R&B artist Shamim, and we'll be talking about her new single You Are Me. Here we go. So Shamim, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good to finally meet you in person.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you. So before we jump in, how are you doing? How is 2022 so far? How's February so far?
It's good. It's good. I mean, we're in 2022, time's flying, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of exciting things. So yeah, life is happening. Life is lifing.
As they say.
Yeah.
But like, so I'm not sure if you are part of the New Year, New Goals type of crowd, but like, if you are, how are those goals or how are those New Year resolutions going so far?
Well, I tried to make some goals that I can actually attain to not feel disappointed, but also I'd like to challenge myself and you know, I'm not too, let's just say it's important to set goals. It's important to work towards something. It's important to work towards, you know, greater results and expect good and bad. I definitely, to answer your question, I have set myself some goals and I hope that I do achieve them.
Cool. I haven't set my goals yet. I know that we are in the middle of February, but I just need to find some time to just sit down and just put things to paper. So I will hopefully get to it. So, but we're here to talk about You Are Me. And so I've got my questions out here. So before we jump into that new single, for the people that may only be hearing about you for the first time, could you just give us a bit of a backstory about who you are and the story so far, how we got here?
Well, my name is Shamim Nalule. I was born in Uganda. I came to the UK, England, when I was 11 years old. And I've always loved singing and I fell in love with music at such a young age. I remember going to church. First of all, I grew up in a background of Islam.
Okay.
So where you go to the mosque and quite a contrast when I went to church where they sing and dance and stuff, and I used to be one of those people that used to get up and dance and and everyone's seated, so I got up and danced and enjoyed it. So I, you know, from that day on I thought, wow, I love this, so I kept going. And then growing up I used to participate in talent shows and auditions, and you know, so I reached an age where I felt maybe I should try this my way. I should create my own opportunity and not wait for somebody else to say yes when I already know that I have what it takes. I have the passion, ultimately that's all that matters really, and hard work and the desire to pursue the hardest things in life, and knowing if I died tomorrow, God forbid, I'd live life on my own terms. And so whenever my big break comes, it came on my own terms.
Okay, so just to kind of dig deep into that, so like maybe outside of music, what does doing things on your own terms, or living life on your own terms, what does that look like in your day-to-day life?
I hate feeling pressured to do stuff.
Okay.
However, a bit of pressure is good to push you to get things done, but I don't like feeling like I have to do it.
Yeah.
I like to feel like it's my choice.
Okay.
I'd like to feel like it's my choice to do stuff, basically. And living life on my own terms has always been a phrase I live by, because I feel like if I didn't do that, then I'll be somebody else. I'll choose to kind of take a different path in life.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to stay true to who you are. There's a lot of pressures to be other people and, create this fabrication of an illusion of oneself.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to participate in that narrative, really. So even if it's the hard, long way, and eventually I will get there. I believe that.
Definitely. So, I have known you for maybe 2 years now, maybe 3. But you are always saying that you are driven by honesty in your music, and you want to put truth at the core of your message. What do you mean by that, and why is that important?
Essentially, I think if you spend time being with yourself and really digging deep to the core of your soul, and just spending time with your thoughts, and a lot of people really find it difficult to just spend 5 minutes with themselves. I find it to be crucial to be honest in every aspect of life, and ultimately I want to be relatable, and if I wasn't, then that would be okay, because if you can't be relatable by being yourself, then that's fine too. So whatever message I want to portray in my music, I want it to come across as real as possible. And people see right through fakeness, to be honest with you. If you're fake, people see through it. And what's the point? Right? What's the point of not being who you are? What's the point of just lying to yourself? Just don't lie. I that's one thing about me as well. I just don't like it's a lot of energy trying to keep up an image.
Fair enough.
Rather than just being authentic and try it and see how that goes.
But well, thankfully, I don't have a job or a role where I am in front of people, or but it does feel like it can be quite scary, being that truthful or being that honest, so do you ever feel that way? Well, this could be a bit out there.
Well, so I think that's where self-discipline comes in, right?
Okay,
You can't always be yourself 100%. For instance, when you first meet people, you're a bit reserved, and rightfully so, because not everybody deserves an authentic energy from you, because to be honest, you have to earn authenticity sometimes. So it's important to also bear in mind your environment and the people, and you have to go with the idea of if somebody was to meet me first time round, what impression have I left with them? What type of feeling? And it's easier to put your best foot forward, to be honest. But if it's not who you are, it can only last for like 2 seconds. So a lot of people have social anxiety, and that's okay. Well, I probably have that myself sometimes. So I just stay quiet.
Yeah.
So you just stay quiet and observe.
Yeah.
Next time.
Okay.
Take it step by step.
Cool.
But I think just stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let us jump into You or Me.
Yeah.
In your own words, what is this song about?
This is a sentimental song for me, really. It's about love. It's about, when you click with somebody to an extent where you feel like they are the male or female version of who you are.
Okay.
Is that even possible? Is it?
Well.
But that's what I feel You Are Me. It's funny because my little brothers who are 11 and 14 listened to the song and they named it.
Okay.
They named it.
Really?
That's a fun fact.
Wow.
Yeah. They named it. How about You Are Me? I was like, yes, I love that. So I went with it.
Yeah.
Just to feel them, to just include them.
That's really good.
In the process, yeah.
That is really good because, I have always kind of wondered about how you came up with that title.
Do you like it?
Yeah, yeah. But it does beg the question though, like in love, are you ever going to find that person that is you? Or when they say opposites attract, well, I guess the question there is, which of those truths do you lean towards more?
Well, I think it's 50-50, isn't it? Okay. I think we get on with people sometimes we least expected. Yeah. Equally, you find someone, you're like, wow, we're so much alike. And that's an immediate attraction as well. Yeah. So I think that keeping an open mind with love is important because no one is perfect. And I think nowadays people are looking for perfection or close to perfection. But I think you have to look within yourself. Are you perfect? You have to keep it real, as I said. Like can't say, you can't have a list of things where it's not applicable to you.
Yeah.
So I think ask what you're willing to give. And sometimes a bit of compromise is a necessity, I guess, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Can't give you a definite answer.
That's okay. So we know that You Are Me is about love.
Right.
So the next layer, what inspired you to write the song?
That is the nosy question.
Okay.
So, well, what inspired me to write about You Are Me? I was feeling, I was in a state of mind where I was going through a situation that wasn't great, personal situation that wasn't great, and really all I wanted was for it to be the complete opposite. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be, well, not even perfect. I wanted it to be good enough.
Okay.
But when you love someone, sometimes it's not the right time, it's not the right space, they're not in the right, mentally they need a lot of work. And sometimes people need time to work things out.
Yeah.
And whereas you feel ready for love, the other person might not feel ready for love. And it's important to understand that it's okay to let them go. Okay. For now, maybe. Yeah. And whatever's meant to be will be. And it's not easy to actually do. I think putting things into practice is always difficult. Yeah. But I think bearing in mind that, that saying, if you love it, let it go, and if it's meant for you, it will come back. It's definitely true. Okay. It's true. So sometimes just don't force things. Yeah. Don't force it. It's not by force. Just let it happen. Let it be. And you can't really change people. You can't force love. You can't force relationships. So I guess you have to keep an open mind in knowing that what's meant for you will be. And I think love is definitely, it will happen for everyone. I believe that everybody's it's everybody's right to love and feel love. And I think being alone is, unless it's by choice, if you really want it and you need it, I think you will definitely have it.
So to be a bit more nosy, if that's the right word, so the person or the relationship that inspired this song, do they know that?
I'm done. Yes, they do.
Okay, and because me, I'm not a singer, I'm not a songwriter, I don't, right? But what is that like now? Like,
you're asking if we're on
oh no, but how do they feel that you wrote this song about them?
I mean, big-headed, I think, maybe. I'd probably love it. I didn't ask. Maybe I should ask.
Maybe, I think.
Yeah, I should. How did you feel about the song? It was definitely inspired by the person,
Okay. All right, so there are some deeper themes that you kind of put forward in the song. So the song looks at the power of love. It looks at love being this kind of the highest frequency, and you wanting to be at that place or at that frequency. What sparked that desire or that want in you?
Ultimately, I think everything revolves around love. When you really, if you really think about it, a lot of things we do revolves around love. From family, friends, partners, even work. I think for people to go that extra mile for you, there has to be love there. Otherwise, sometimes if it's about money, for example, people tend to just not care. And just okay, on to the next. Love is the highest frequency, because at the end of everything, we all crave to be loved and be loved. We all crave. There's more to love than just waking up, going to work, paying bills. Because when you come home to an empty house where no mom or dad or sisters or brothers or partner, you feel empty. You feel like something is missing. You feel like you had a companion. And I think that is an ideology that everyone aspires to. And I think that knowing deep down you want that, sometimes not having that breeds loneliness. And I think that's not good for the soul to feel alone. And I think that love definitely brings everyone together. It's very cliche, probably very cheesy, but it's true. It's very true, and it's just nice.
Love is nice. That's true.
Love
for
is
sure.
Nice.
Let's look at some of the lyrics of the song. So there's a line. So the song starts with kind of like a spoken word piece, and then there's a line there where you say, "Although love is free, we pay such a high price for it," and then you seem to question whether that price that we pay is even worth it. Can you speak on that? Maybe expand on what you mean, because you know, saying that love is free, but then we pay a high price for it seems like kind of a contradiction, right?
Right.
So like, you know, can you expand on that for us a bit more?
Well, I think every time we open our hearts up to someone, there's a risk of heartbreak.
Yeah.
Every time we're vulnerable to a situation, there's a risk of tears and all that comes with it that you don't really want. But then that's the risk of love.
Yeah.
I tend to think everything we do is consequential. There's nothing that you do that is just by chance.
Yeah.
I think a decision that is small may lead to small results or big results, you never know. But I think life is a choice, definitely, in that regard.
Yeah.
Where I say that is the price we pay, is love worth the pain?
Yeah.
It's definitely a rhetorical question to the audience.
Yeah. Okay.
Putting yourself in a position where you love this person wholeheartedly. What is the significance of them in your life?
Yeah.
Can you live without them?
Okay.
And I think life is a choice in a sense where living with someone because you love them is definitely a choice, but to make them your whole life is definitely incomprehensible.
Yeah.
I don't think that loving someone to that extent where you can't live without them is healthy.
Okay.
It's not. They should be a part of your life.
Yeah.
Not, you know, you're already complete, so they add to you.
That's good.
But you meet certain people where they kind of put on this persona and they lie to you, and I guess that kind of breeds betrayal and pain.
Yeah.
But you have some genuine people also that are into it for the real reasons.
Yeah.
So I definitely do think that love is a risk. You have a risk to people will hurt you regardless.
Yeah.
And romantic love and hurt is definitely I think, you know, people get into depression because of breakups and stuff.
Yeah.
And people are the most happiest when they're in love, you know. So definitely that's a food for thought question.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the price, what is it again?
Where do I have it? Okay, so I don't have. So it says, "Is the price we pay even worth the fight?" I think that's the line.
Is the price we pay ever worth the fight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
But then for you,
yeah,
it might be 50-50. For the next person, my dad says, he says he would love a woman 50% and keep the other 50 to himself.
Oh wow, wow, Dad. I don't think that's a good. I don't think that's good, but you know,
that's what he says. But then that's a guy who's 50 plus.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? That's a guy who's loved before. Had his heart broken.
Oh. And
then loved again, cautiously loved again.
Okay.
I don't follow that advice, by the way, because that's his experience.
That's
you know?
True. That's true.
So I understand where he's coming from. I think love enough, but keep some love to yourself, where your whole life doesn't revolve around that person. You know, you have to create an individual life for yourself.
Okay.
You have to create, you know, to set personal goals. Well, it's not all about relationships all the time.
Well, so you know, my small 2 pence into that is, so I have been married for going into 6 years now.
Congrats.
And thank you very much. And you know, I think what works for us is like just being all in, like you know, you know, the main thing that I try to live by is, you know, how love has to be selfless, right? And with that in mind if both of you are being selfless towards each other and you always want the best for that person, for your love, for your spouse, for your partner, then you know, I think, you know, what works for us is that, you know, we are all in, and you know, we have each other's backs, and you know, it works, and they you know, I don't think it would work if we weren't 110% all in, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that, you know, if you've been married once, or married twice or 3 times, a person with the first marriage or second marriage has a different perspective.
That's fair.
From a person that's married 5 times, you know.
That is very fair. That's very fair.
And that's the beauty about life, because we have different perceptions and views and life experiences.
Yeah.
And so for me, if I was to be married, my hope and wishes would be to get married one time and one time done, right? Only.
Yes.
And also to be exceptionally in love with that person for a very long time, I hope.
For sure.
From what I hear, life will have a cycle of love.
Yeah.
Where you feel the need to date other people, or after a certain amount of time, you want you know, because we change all the time. So perhaps you're not into that person anymore. I don't know.
I don't think so. But yeah, well, you know, I think you know, like, you know, for, you know, the thing that we say that, you know, love is not just a feeling, right? You know, love is an actual doing word, a doing thing. And so like so, you know, you have to actively wake up and choose to love that person, you know what I mean? But going back to some, you know how there are parts of the song that feel like a contradiction. You know, you already touched on how what sparked the song came from quite an anxious place where you were feeling a bit frustrated with things, but you know, how does that feeling turn into this powerful declaration of love that this song is?
That's a very good question, because I think underneath, you know, when they say there's a fine line between anger and love, I think sometimes when you're angry, really you're angry because you love that person. And I saw, I think, an Instagram video where there's a couple have been married for like 62 years plus, and they're quite elderly.
Wow.
And they said the key thing of keeping a long-lasting marriage is being nice to each other, being kind. And a lot of people, when you're angry, you want to say horrible things to hurt that person that you will never take back. And I went to the studio to cuss this person out.
The truth is coming out.
I did. I went to the studio so I could, you know, talk my, you know, SHITS, my shits. I'm joking. But when I got onto the mic, something else completely came out, just simply because I didn't hate this person. I love this person, and I was angry because they hurt me. I felt hurt by their actions. And so I turned that into a positive, kind of like a therapy session for me. And with the collaboration between me and my producer, we kind of went back and forth with ideas in the studio. Then when I went home, I was like, I love this. Kept listening. So I tapped into how I truly felt, really.
Okay.
The truth is, I still had unresolved feelings, and I still felt like I needed to express my love and not hate. And, you know, kill them with kindness.
Kill them with kindness.
Exactly. And not, you know, I feel like it's when you project negative, you know, when you approach things with a positive mindset, I guess you get positive results. And I'd rather say, you know what, although I felt angry at this person, I still had some nice things to say.
Okay.
And bottom line is, I still have passion. I still have love, and I still have care for this person.
Yeah.
This situation. So
Love does that. Love does that to you, I guess.
yeah, it does, and that's how you know it's genuine.
So there's a line on the song that really resonates with me. It's where you say, "I've been praying for you." And I know that you mentioned here that you have a church background, and in a previous conversation you mentioned how the melodies for the song came to you on your way to church. So I've got two questions, two parts. Part one, how does your faith impact your music?
Oh, I love Jesus.
Amen to that.
Jesus. Whereas I'm not a religious person, I am a spiritual person. I tap into my spirituality quite often, every day. I don't know where I would be without God, so let me just get that out there.
Yeah.
I'm not a person to go to church every Sunday, but when I do, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I remember that particular day going to church. Oh, it was a long walk. So I'm walking. It was actually after church. I was going to church. I had this melody, but then after church, I definitely was writing things down on my phone.
Yeah.
I was with my sister. I was like, "Hey this." She doesn't get it. She's like, "Yeah, that's good, Shamim. That's good." But obviously, they always get it after.
Yeah.
So anyway. Essentially, when I'm saying praying for you, I'm praying for my husband.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You have to pray for your husband. You have to pray for your wife. So these people are coming into your life essentially for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And you don't want like a demon, because people out here behaving like they were breastfed from a demon's blood or something. I don't know. So you need to definitely pray to just for the right person to come along into your life, and add to it, and support you, love you, in spite of your flaws, and so it just fit perfectly.
Okay.
I've been praying. Yeah, I love that, and it kept coming. Why not just keep it? I love that part of the song.
Definitely.
I hope everyone prays for their husbands and wives and whomever they want to be with.
Yeah, for sure. So let's shift gears a bit. Let's look at more of the creative process for the song. So you worked with J. on the song. What is that process like? How did you guys get together? What is the creative process when both of you work together?
Well, I didn't work with J. When I was looking for beats online.
Yeah.
As you do.
As you do, of course.
Looking for beats, hoping to look for something, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Initially, I think it's always best to come up with original sounds.
Yeah.
It's a lot better. However, that's very, very expensive for a person that is independent. You really have to be to think about your budget.
Yeah, fair enough.
I saw the beat, and I emailed him because I really liked it. I purchased it from him.
Okay.
So I leased it. It's funny because Summer Walker has the same beat on
really?
her album. Yeah, did you not know?
I didn't know that at all.
Did I snitch on myself?
No, that's fine. I guess that's fine.
Her approach is definitely different from mine.
Okay.
I have to say I prefer mine. I'm sorry, but I love Summer Walker. Hers is good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I would actually purchase or lease a beat from YouTube ever again after that. No, because I don't like the feeling of having the same kind of sound with somebody else.
Okay.
I like to own my stuff.
Yeah.
I like to feel like special.
Fair enough.
To have only the sound tailored to me.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you get when you go online. So no, I haven't worked with him. But I leased the beat from him.
So that is a good kind of segue, I guess. But so like, what is that process like? So as you said, there are a lot of independent artists who do as you do. You go and you find a beat online and you like the beat and you contact the beat maker and you use it. So like but what is that studio session like? So you have got the beat,
right?
Who do you now work with to get the song created, I guess?
Yeah, it's important to work with somebody where you share the same chemistry in the studio.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely challenging to find that in people, because ultimately you have to actually know how to sing or rap, whatever you do. You have to at least have, you have to have it. It's not something that you can make up. You just have to have it. And then on the other side of that is you have to work with a creative producer, sound engineer, which mine is, I have to say, is fantastic. We went to the same college actually.
Quick plug.
Yes.
Name drop.
Exactly. His name is David Brown. He calls himself David Brown. I think his name's David Brown. So just remember that, David Brown. So yeah, we work together, and it's an amazing session every time I go. He's definitely creative. He directs you very well. Yeah. He has a lot of original ideas, and most importantly, he's very respectful and kind. Yeah. I enjoy working with him. He's absolutely professional, and he's a gentleman. Yeah. So a lot of, I don't want to say bad words, but a lot of people out there that just want to, as I said, being a lady in being independent, you have a lot of people that just want to use you and not take you seriously. Yeah. And so it's important to work with people you feel comfortable with and draw that boundary of professionalism from the get-go, because it's a bit tricky, but I'm glad and I'm happy that at least I'm comfortable in that aspect of my music.
Cool, that's very good. So before we go into talking about the music video for You Are Me, just looking at your visuals generally, they seem to be very thought out, very high production value. Can you speak on why that side of your art seems very important to you?
Wow, I love visuals. Okay. I do. I love to live in a little movie in like 3 minutes. And I'd like people to kind of have an experience with my production. And I think as an independent artist, I have a lot to prove. I'm sorry, a lot to prove to myself. And well, I don't want to be a self-proclaimed perfectionist, but I do like to produce high quality stuff, high quality content, high quality videos. It's important to know, yes, even independent artists can produce high quality stuff and not give off an impression of underwhelming experiences when you're watching music videos, because we have all that we need. And most especially when I'm working with someone like Prince Mensah, who is the CEO of Filmboy Entertainment. I'm very much, what's the word? I'm grateful, basically, because he's amazing. So we're able to bring it to life, and visuals are a key to, bringing that message of the audio to actually, incite, so you can actually reflect the music and reflect it with the visuals and give you that amazing experience. I believe.
Definitely. So the video for You Are Me, really excellent video.
What do you think?
I do like it a lot.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But how did you put that all together? How did that video come about?
Your approval means a lot to me, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that because I'm like, what do you think about the video? And I'm always waiting. And when you like it, I'm like, yay. But well, it's not just me. I initially have an idea. My sister, who is a designer, she's amazing. She's working on some stuff, limited edition.
Oh, nice.
She designed the whole video, You Are Me video, outfits that stand out.
Yeah.
In fact, the brown outfit, she made it the night before.
Oh, wow.
She had a night shift and she loves her sleep, so she was sleeping throughout the day. I literally woke her up. I was very irritated, but she managed it and she pulled through for us.
Wow.
So I'm happy. I worked with my little sister, both my sisters.
Yeah.
Little sister who does my hair, so she did my hair. She did such an amazing job.
Yeah.
And also my friend, my really good friend Maria Williams, one time I played my song to her in my room and she loved it. She goes, Shamim, I can see this, I can see that. And it's funny because what she said is what I had in mind. So I thought, Maria, I think you have a gift of being a great director.
Okay.
So she does art. She has a few art pieces. She's working on her website, so she's very artistic as well, creative world. So we came together, we worked together on it, and she became the creative director for the video. Because we initially shared the same vision, and also working with Prince, who brings it to life basically with the editing and taking part in the planning. We had like 3 meetings.
Okay.
So it's very serious business out here. Like, you definitely have to plan it and focus group it. Agree on things and outfits and locations. Thoroughly thought out and thoroughly planned, and I'm happy. And you have to take your business. Even if it's a young business, you have to take it seriously because ultimately there's fruits to be, what's the word? You rip what you sow, basically. And so if you want to be fruitful, you have to definitely take what you do seriously.
That's good. That's good. I really, really liked, I like all of the visual work that you do, and so You Or Me is right up there as well. Thank you. Sure. But so the song has been out now for a couple of months, and the video as well. So like, what has the reception been like for you? Like, what's the feedback? How are your listeners, your fans, and your critics? How are they taking to the song?
Very well. I received some very interesting, very well received feedback. And as well as good critique. I received, a lot of people are proud. I'm happy about that. My mom saw it. My dad hasn't seen it because it's a bit naughty.
It's a bit risque in some parts.
It's a bit naughty, but I feel like my videos are going to be very coming from a expressing place. So there's always going to be something to like, but that's just me though. Most importantly, I'm happy with the piece that I brought up. So I'm happy when people like it, and I think that's important. You have to like it first. Share it with the world because it's your art, and that's the beauty of independent, because no one has a say. It's your work.
It's your thing, for sure. Sure. You mentioned about getting some critique as well. So as an artist, how do you deal with certain criticisms if and when they do come?
I welcome it. I appreciate it, and I like to do better next time, because ultimately you want to evolve and you want to be taken seriously. And also you have to understand not everybody's going to like everything that you do and produce, and that's okay. And if you're going to be sensitive about it, don't do it. That's it.
Pretty straightforward, for sure.
Don't do it, because ultimately you're putting yourself out there to be criticized, to be loved, to be hated on, and be selective what you want to do.
Yeah,
if you feel like this person, like, you know, the feedback that one of the feedback you sent me where the guy said he loves the video, he loves the song, but it's lacking originality. I agreed with him. I was happy with that because if I'm gonna get a sound off of YouTube, what do I expect?
Fair enough.
So that was definitely resonated with me a lot. So I was like, next time I go to the studio, I'm going to come up with my own sound. So what are you gonna do then? And if you're still hating on it, then that's your problem.
For sure. So so now looking at the future, looking at the rest of this year, I know that You Are Me is meant to be the lead single or the latest single for your upcoming EP. Without giving away too much, or, you know, could you share about what we can expect from that upcoming project?
Surprises, because I'm into different types of music. I'm into different types of sounds. However, I'm also a person that taps into my deep inner thoughts. Like one of the songs called Suicide.
Oh, wow.
And that's really, when I was writing that song, it was in midnight. I'm trying to sleep, but I can't because I'm just feeling a bit, you know, I know a lot of people have spoken to me, not a lot, but a handful of people have spoken to me about wanting to end their lives and wanting to kill themselves and feeling lonely, feeling alone, and I can definitely relate to that. I'm sure maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but we have these dark thoughts in our minds where life gets a bit challenging. And you feel like maybe if I killed myself now, I wouldn't really care anymore. I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna kill myself, but definitely it's a thought that comes to mind, and all you need is somebody to talk to, and it's kind of like you don't have anyone you could trust, or, you know, how do they call them? What's the word I'm looking for? Not a therapist.
Support staff, or are they support?
Yeah,
support
someone.
system.
Why is it words just disappear from my brain? I don't know what's wrong with me, but a confidant.
Okay.
Somebody you can talk to, somebody who's not going to judge you.
Yeah.
When you feel like, oh, today I feel a bit down, I need to speak to this person and actually tell them my inner thoughts. You know, somebody telling me they have contemplated suicide or want to kill themselves and actually done it. It's actually, could I have stopped that? But I feel like, you know, the song Suicide is definitely something that speaks to me, and it's, I hope everybody is going to relate to it.
Yeah.
As much as that is on the sad side, I definitely have a few songs, if I would want to have a few or one or two songs that are definitely happy and upbeat. Yeah. And when you hear it, you can get up and dance.
Okay. So, you know, I guess, you know, this goes back to what we touched on a bit earlier on with those kinds of heavy subjects. Do you feel any kind of trepidation when you put those kinds of heavy songs out there?
I think it's, as a singer, it's easy to express yourself and not feel judged.
Okay.
If I was having a conversation, these are words. I feel like as much as music is powerful, words are more powerful.
Yeah.
I can sing a sad note but make it sound so sweet that you won't even know what I'm saying. But if I'm speaking word to word, it's more kind of intimidating to have that conversation openly.
Yeah.
But if I'm singing a song, it comes from a place of it's a sweet sound, basically. So I could be singing about a sad situation, but I think it's easier to digest because it's music.
Yeah.
Definitely, I've never been afraid to let people into my thoughts in that way.
Yeah.
In the way of music.
Okay.
But what I find perhaps a bit maybe I wouldn't do is have an open conversation about it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have a conversation about it, but I would sing about it.
Okay.
And then maybe if I'm questioned about it, I'll talk about it, but I wouldn't really go into much detail because you already know how I feel from the song. Go listen to it and make up your own conclusion.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why people have psychiatrists and therapists and stuff, people that they can talk to.
Yeah.
Because that way it's an open conversation in a safe environment. People out there are just so insensitive to how people feel, really. So to be vulnerable in that way is definitely should be applauded to, if you ask me. But for me, I don't really care because I'm very self-aware.
Okay.
And before I say it, I have meditated and thought about what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really affect me. You can take it however you want.
Yeah. Okay. So we have talked about the future, what is coming next for the year. We have talked about You Are Me. So let's do one thing to close it out. So for people that are just going to be finding out about you through this conversation and they want to go back and hear more, I would personally like them to go back to Option and Priority. So what can you tell us about that song and why it'd be a good place for someone to start?
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Definitely go back to the beginning. It was the beginning. It was the beginning. I shot that video in it's like it was so cold. It was freezing. I was literally shaking, but managed to make it seem so real. But it was we were freezing, all of us.
Oh, wow.
When the cameras stopped, we were like just shaking. We're just running out of the cold, trying to get warm as soon as possible.
Oh gosh.
But Optional Pirate is my baby, literally, because it's my first song ever, my first video. Not my first song, but my first video. Because I've written songs since I was like in secondary school, college times. But Optional Priority is literally a different aspect of me. Yeah, I feel like You Are Me kind of shows the growth, and Option and Priority is the beginning, the start. And as I grow and change and embrace who I am and, you know, where life takes me, I would like to look back on everything that I've done and say, wow, I'm proud of myself. Option and Pirate is definitely a beautiful song to me. But you didn't like it.
To be fair, the thing was, I thought as a first song it was all right, but then when you matched it up for me with the visuals, it kind of took it up to another level. And I think, you know, there are songs like that where, you know, just by themselves they may not push the envelope as we would like, but then you pair it up with a really, really strong visual and it just, you know, it just takes it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
also to anyone out there, okay? However much you may value someone's opinion, I think ultimately what matters is how you truly feel about something, because we all share different visions, different life. We look at life differently. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like most people that may bring us down are the people we care most about and whose opinion we care most about. So do what you want, okay? Go ahead and do what you want. Produce that shitty song that everyone hates. Have it out and go and, you know, produce that amazing video and prove them wrong.
I definitely agree with that. But so on that note, thank you, Shamim, for joining us today. Really, really lovely talking to you. Before we go, where can the people find you? Socials, all that stuff.
Yes.
Take it away.
I try with social media. I do. But then sometimes you need a break, okay? Maybe a very long one. But find me on Instagram. I'm mostly active on Instagram, Shamim Nalule. That is SHAMIMNALULE. And that's it. I mean, I'm not on Twitter. I mean, I don't really have much to say.
We'll put all the socials in the description box or something. But yeah, thank you so much for your time and for coming down. It's been really lovely talking to you for sure.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
And thank you for considering me. This is my first interview.
You did great.
Maybe, maybe, I hope so. It's my first interview. I'm happy.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming down.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For sure.